I didn't have to work overtime. Okay, roger that. I am a mariner. My position on the ship is mate. Below me are my deckhands who are responsible for the labor work like painting, grinding, maintenance, line handling, cargo ops, etc. Above me is the chief mate, second in command, and the captain, in charge of everyone and the responsible individual for the entire ship. We are officers, and we do the planning for navigation, ship handling, training, payroll, etc. I work for a private company that pays me by a day rate, which is a 12-hour workday. I work 1 month on and 1 month off. Like most industries, we are undermanned, can't hire enough to fill all positions. Now, this ship I work is even harder to crew up, mainly because of the captain. He's got a notorious reputation for being a jerk. So people find all sorts of ways not to come to this boat. And if they do, they only work 1 tour and never come back. I joined this ship back in May, and for the last 7 months, it's been kind of hell working for this captain. He's a narcissist, condescends everyone, insults everyone, works us like slaves, never thanks us, just an all-around class act. You know, these type of bosses, they never let up, they push you to the limit. With that said, I've been working 15, sometimes 18 hours a day because we're short-handed. I'm doing all sorts of work that's not in my job description. I had to do cargo ops, handle mooring lines, maintenance, all in addition to my mate duties. I'm a very hard worker, a team player, and never say no to work. The thing is, we don't get paid for any more than 12 hours of work a day. So all those extra hours I worked are unpaid. It burns me, and I hate it. But like I said, I'm a team player. I want to make sure it's safe for my guys, the operations get completed, and clients stay happy. So I do what is asked of me. I'm also the cook. We don't have an official cook on board because this is considered a small crew and small ship. I was cooking lunch every day for my crew, and many dinners too. Generally, you're on your own for breakfast and dinner. I was so good at my job that he and the chief mate passed their duties on to me so they can just sit back and relax. Chief mates and captains have a lot of paperwork to do, but I was handling that for them too, until up to this point. Well, one day, I'm just completely burnt out with these 15, 18-hour days. I get into a discussion about how the captain and company is stealing my wages because I'm working more than 12 hours a day. I asked him if I could show up to watch an hour later than my scheduled duty. The engine department does this when they require their folks to work overtime the day before. I work a swing shift, which overlaps both the captain and chief mate, so it's not unheard of or uncommon to let guys show up late, especially if they worked more than 12 hours the previous day. Well, once I asked to sleep in an extra hour, all hell broke loose with him insulting me, calling me names. Nobody wants to work anymore, blah, blah, blah. Just nasty, inappropriate behavior that shouldn't happen, but happens all the time in this industry. He then finishes the verbal beatdown with a cocky, eating grin. You know, mate, you never had to work overtime. You could have just said no. I was steaming at this point, but I just replied with, okay, roger that. I called it a day and went to bed. Cue malicious compliance. The next day, I'm Hardy on watch, and he comes on to work and asks me what's for lunch. Nothing. I'm not cooking today. Did you pull out anything from the freezer at least? Nope. So nobody had any real food for lunch. They all made sandwiches and ate chips instead. Later that day, hey, I need you to go finish painting the rescue boat. The guys are busy with other projects and I want this done today. Well, Capt, since it's not in my job description, I respectfully decline. We get into a little arguing, but he concedes. The very next day, he pulls the same thing. What's for lunch? Nothing. What do we have that we can cook real fast? I don't know, Cap T. I didn't check. Cooking isn't my job, remember, so I don't plan on doing it. He rushes to cook some whole chickens in an hour, and they came out raw and really ticked off the crew. Nobody touched his food. This routine lasted a whole week until it was the end of my tour, and I got to go home. I returned to duty a month later, and he thought I would forget or let it slide. I indeed did not forget or let it slide. For the next entire month-long tour, the Capt had to do the cooking because the chief mate and I refused to do it, and he complained because he had to wake up early and prep food. I was already doing all that when I was cooking. I just didn't complain. I enjoy cooking, but I wasn't letting it go. I refused to let him win this battle. I did not cook one meal, To be petty, I made myself delicious food, did not share it. I refused any work that wasn't in my job description. What's he gonna do? Write me up on disciplinary for not doing someone else's job that isn't mine, or for not working past 12 hours? Not happening. Understand, at this point I was physically tired, burnt out, and mentally drained from doing everybody's job and taking crap from him. I asked for a transfer to another ship, but got denied, so I'm still stuck on the ship with this captain. But now he knows where I stand, and I haven't cooked or did extra duty since. And that's what you get for taking advantage of a good worker and always insulting me. Update to my I don't have to work overtime. August 21st, 2023. Hey guys, not sure if this is allowed, but a few folks wanted to hear an update to my situation from several months ago, and so I have one. After escalating my complaints about Captain and threatening with formal complaints to HR and higher to the coordinator, I was finally assigned to a new boat. Yes, finally, a new assignment. So, I get to the new ship, I go to work for this new captain and crew, and applied my new learned lesson of act your wage. Thanks Redditor Me-Track6. I did not cook. I didn't do any extra duties outside my job description. I worked only my 12 hours and nothing more. I knew a couple guys on this new boat, so I got along with them easily. Things are looking good. But after 1 week of being there, my coordinator transferred me to another ship because some captain pulled rank and wanted to work an extra 2 weeks. So I get kicked off this one and go to another boat. A worse boat. I spent 2 more weeks there. This Captain Ron was doing training, drills, safety meetings, etc., and I wanted no part of this BS. It was at this point I had enough with this company. They were supposed to be one of the biggest and baddest outfits in the industry, but really it was being managed like crap. My mental health declined. I went home, took my scheduled 1 month off, and I decided to not come back to work for this company. I ended up taking an extra month off to focus on my mental health, spend some more time with family, had some old veteran friends come visit for a while to catch up. I reached out to some friends that work in the same profession and got some leads that landed me a new job immediately with a small outfit. With my newly updated resume and experience, I was offered even more money than the last company. I do much less work, with less stress, with a chill crew. Swords, closer to my home. I am fortunate that the ship industry right now is in big demand for workers, so jobs are plentiful, pay is competitive. And I'm getting into the wind farm industry, so we have contracts for a while, which means there's going to be plenty of work to go around.